Hello, we are back today with another TBR prompt, in my case, bucket situation. So, welcome back. This is going to be my third time, I think, doing this TBR prompt jar situation. If you are new, welcome. Hi, my name is Kate. I'm 30 years old, living in Brisbane, Australia, with my partner Simon and my cat Reginald. And I have recently become re-obsessed with all things reading and books. So we mostly do booktube content here at the moment, but I do also do some other various lifestyle sort of things. So I do some vlogs, I do some goal setting, and I do some personal finance and budgeting type content as well, all thrown in together, but at the moment mostly books, almost entirely books. I also am pretty sure I have ADHD, so it's my current hyper focus. So don't try to take this away from me. If you are new, I do have a couple of things going on here. So I have my standard TBR prompt bucket full of various prompts for books, things like cover, color, number of words in the title, authors starting with certain letters, any of those sorts of things, all in this bucket right here. You can see it's actually pretty empty. It's a big bucket, but it doesn't really have that much in it. I thought I was doing a lot until I folded them and put them in the bucket, and it seemed like nowhere near as much. And then I also have this little one right here. I am trying to read through all of the Goodreads winners from 2023. I know I'm going to be very late to the game when I do get around to finishing these and recording a video about it, but that's fine. But this is just a little jar full of book or series names. Not a lot left in there, which is good. It is currently the 19th of March. This is going to be for my April TBR. I don't think I actually said that. If I did, I might have said March. This is going to be for my April TBR. It is only the 19th of March though, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to get finished this month. And there was a bit of a surprise in terms of my Goodreads winners. So I once again think I may not get to read The Outsider again. I've been supposed to read it for the last 2 months, and I keep not doing it. I promise it's not because I don't want to read it. I would love to read The Outsider. I'm really looking forward to reading my first Stephen King. The Outsider didn't actually win the award last year. Holly won the award, but it is in a series, and the first book in that series is called The Outsider, written by Stephen King, part of the Holly Gibney series, I think it's called. So I have to read The Outsider first, and then whatever the second one is, and then I can finally get to Holly. So that's one that I really wanted to start, so that I could make my way through all 3 of those books. But it just keeps not happening, and one of the books I had on hold at the library, which was not on my TBR, suddenly became available, which I wasn't expecting. I was still like 10th in line for it when I checked 2 days before, and then suddenly the book was ready to be collected. So I had to pick that up. I had to read it because it has to be returned to the library within 20 days or whatever. So I read a different book instead. So I think there's going to be a lot of things left off of my March TBR. This video is not going to be coming out until I think the 28th, so it's probably not going to make sense when you're watching this video that I don't know what I'm going to be finished, but I don't know what I'm going to be finished because I'm recording this on the 19th. It's the way my work schedule works. I have to record quite early. Anyway, none of this is important, but that's my little backstory I've got going on. So what I normally do is pull 2 prompts out of my Goodreads list, and then I pull 4 out of my regular prompt jar, so I end up with 6 books for the month. I think I'm going to finish 6 books in March. They're just not the right books. And that's okay. But there is one book in here, which is the one that popped up at the library that I wasn't expecting, which I haven't actually taken out. So if we pull that one out, we might just replace it with The Outsider, which isn't in here because I pulled it out last month. I do have my laptop here. I don't have a whole lot of a physical TBR, so I do use my TBR list on my laptop as well. I can pick from either my physical TBR or my laptop list. Doesn't really matter if it comes up on the laptop list. I'll either get it from the library or I will buy the book within the first couple of weeks of the month. So let's go. As I go, I also add them to my TBR. I'll have to create my April TBR in my Notion, and I will add the books to them as we go. So let's see what we get as our first Goodreads winner book for April. We have Holly Gibney, how convenient. This says Holly Gibney 3, that just means that this is the third version of this prompt that I have in here. It doesn't mean I have to read Holly Gibney book number 3 because that would not make sense. We'll see what else we get. This may count as The Outsider. This may count as the second book in the Holly Gibney series. We will see what else we get and what I get finished in March. And second one, alright, next one we have is The Housemaid. So we'll be reading The Housemaid's Secret this month. I finished The Housemaid last month, I think it was. I really enjoyed the book, so I'm looking forward to reading The Housemaid's Secret, and we will see how that goes. Alright, let me add those two to my April TBR. I think I'm just going to put The Outsider on here for now. If I do happen to finish The Outsider in March, I will switch it to be the second book in the series. Oh, it's got so many reading challenges on here. April 2024 TBR. Lovely. So those are our two Goodreads winners that we will be trying to read in April. I am trying to get all of the Goodreads winners finished by end of June. From what we have left in the bucket, that lines up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that works out and we will have ourselves a 2023 Goodreads winners video happening in early July. Anyway, moving on to our more fun prompt situation where we actually get to choose books, make choices about books based on the prompts that we get. So we're going to pull 4 of these and we will see how we go. Give it a big shake up. I don't put prompts from previous months back in the jar. So you know, I want to get through all of the prompts that I currently have in here before I start doing repeat prompts. And I am always adding to the new list, which I'm going to be printing once this bucket finishes. So if you have any suggestions for prompts, let me know. I'll add it onto the list, but we won't be doing them until we finish this bucket and then I reprint the new list. I did it printed, I'm not handwriting all of this. I know a lot of people handwrite them. No, thank you. Is that upside down? It is. Okay. A book that became a movie. Ooh, book that became a movie. I don't think I have any on my main list right now. I don't even, I have a couple on my backup reread list. Let me go and grab a couple of options. Oh, forgot about that one. That's definitely going to be the one. Yeah. I get on myself situated again. Got too many things happening here. Okay. Okay, so I did have a few options on my backup TBR, which is just things that are already in our library. So I have Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. Read this when I was a kid. Absolutely love this whole entire series. I'm wanting to do a reread of the full series. And yeah, this one was made into a movie in like mid-2000s, I want to say. It has a movie. The movie was okay. It wasn't terrible. The other one that was similar to this that I could have done a reread of is Aragon, because I want to read Murtagh. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the new book that's about the side character from the Aragon series. So I would like to reread the Aragon series at some point, but not yet. I have some more that I would rather do. The next one I have is Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. I'm currently reading High Fire by Owen Colfer. So can I do 2 Owen Colfer books in a row? The other problem with this is that Simon is currently reading through the series. We just bought the 8-book box set for this. And I doubt that I would catch up to him, especially if I'm only going to be doing one maybe a month at most, depending on TBR prompts. But that's another slight issue with that one. But the one that I completely forgot that I had that I wanted to read, which has turned into a movie, and I wanted to read it pretty soon, is Dune. I actually don't know who wrote Dune. Frank Herbert. We just went and saw Dune Part 2 last weekend. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as the first Part 1, but I really enjoyed it, and I did want to read Dune pretty soon. I've never read it before. This would be a new read for me, and I wanted to read it moderately soon so that I don't forget all of the comparisons that I can make between it and the movie. Not that I super want to, but it would be interesting to see. So I think I'll be picking Dune for a book that was made into a movie. Now, I don't know that this one is on my TBR, so it is not. Alright, I'm just going to add it in a quick version. Dune on my April 2024 TBR. Excellent. There is our first of our 4 regular prompts. Okay, next prompt. Right, we have, oh, picked up 2 here apparently. We have a book with an object in the title. What have we got? We've got a lot of murder books at the moment. I mean, is a heart an object? We'll just take Inkheart back out again. We got Jade? There's a lot of things that, like, could be objects, aren't really objects, but could be objects. Let me go check my backup list. Okay, I think going with the most accurate book for this prompt that I can find on my physical TBR, I could go through my list and find something in my full TBR list. We're gonna try to stick with the physical TBR for now. So I think I'm gonna go with Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings. This is a very old book. There's pages falling out from the inside of it. There could be pages missing from this book. I don't know. But I'm keen to do a reread of the David Eddings series. This is definitely one I read when I was much younger. So this is book 1 of the Belgariad, which is like a 5-book series, I want to say. I think we have books 1, 2, and like 4 or something, 4 or 5. So there's definitely going to have to be some purchasing of books required for this. But I figure pawn is, a pawn in chess. I did just read a chess book, so very appropriate. But I think that's the most accurate I can get with object. There are definitely a few other things that could be considered objects, but this is probably the most accurate, so that's what we're going to go with. And I think this is also probably not on my actual list. Let us add this one in. I also haven't been mentioning anything about what these books are actually about. A magnificent epic of immense scope set against a history of 7,000 years of the struggles of gods and kings and men, of strange lands and events, of fate and a prophecy that must be fulfilled, the Belgariad. Long ago, so the storyteller claimed, the evil god Torak sought dominion and drove men and gods to war, but Belgarath the sorcerer led men to reclaim the orb that protected men of the west. So long as it lay at river, the prophecy went, men would be safe. But that was only a story. And Garion did not believe in magic dooms, even though the dark man without a shadow had haunted him for years. Brought up on a quiet farm by his Aunt Pole, how could he know that the apostate planned to wake dread Torak, or that he would be led on a quest of unparalleled magic and danger by those he loved, but did not know? For a while his dreams of innocence were safe, untroubled by knowledge of his strange heritage. For a little while. Thus begins book 1 of the Belgariad. That's going to be pretty fun. I'll read Dune as well, just so, in case you've missed the entire Dune movie story. Oh, losing pages. No! Oh no! The book blew open and pages started flying out of the back. I might try to get my hands on a new box set of the Belgariad. Okay, Dune. Before The Matrix, before Star Wars, before Ender's Game and Neuromancer, there was Dune, the greatest science fiction novel ever written. The spice melange is the rarest and most valuable element in the universe. It does everything from increasing a person's lifespan to making interstellar travel possible, and it can only be found on a single planet, the inhospitable desert world Arrakis. Whoever controls Arrakis controls the spice, and whoever controls the spice controls the universe. When the Emperor transfers stewardship of Arrakis from the noble House Harkonnen to House Atreides, the Harkonnens fight back, murdering Duke Leto Atreides. Lady Jessica, Duke Leto's concubine, flees into the desert with their young son Paul, where they are rescued by a band of Fremen, the native people of Arrakis. The Fremen control Arrakis' second great resource, the monstrous worms that burrow beneath the burning desert sand. In order to raise an army to avenge his father and retake Arrakis from the Harkonnens, Paul must earn the trust of the Fremen and lead a tiny army against the innumerable forces aligned against them. His journey will change everything. That's June. Gonna be looking forward to reading that one. On to the third one. I wasn't expecting to have to get this many things from my backup TBR. Alright. We have a book that takes place in the future. Ooh, okay. Does it have to be the real future or just like a futuristic world? I feel like a real future. What is Jade City? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get to Jade City this month. Is it real future? Doesn't sound like real future. Sounds like a fantasy created world. Land of Kekon, West Tuna Sea, Amarok Ocean. None of these places sound like the real places. Okay, not that one. Do I have anything else set in a real world future? I'll be back. Okay, I think I only have one book that is actually set in real world future. Obviously, I have some futuristic sci-fi. Well, I have a futuristic sci-fi book, but I don't think it's set in real world, which makes me feel like it's not really future. It's just a different world, even though it is futuristic. Anyway, I've got one that I'm going to go with, which is Hovercar Racer by Matthew Riley. This is like a near future sort of thing. We have, I'm just going to read the back again. Meet Jason Chaser, Hovercar Racer. He's won himself a place at the International Race School where racers either make it onto the pro circuit or they crash and burn. But he's an outsider. He's younger than the other racers, his car, the Argonaut, is older, and on top of that, someone doesn't want him to succeed at the school and will do anything to stop him. Now, Jason Chaser isn't just fighting for his place on the starting line, he's racing for his life. This is a young adult novel by Matthew Riley. And yeah, it's about a kid. He's like 15 or maybe 16. No, I think he's like 14, 15-ish. And it's about hovercar racing. So a little bit of futuristicness with the hovercar racing, but the start says like a few years from now. So it's not supposed to be heavily futuristic, but it is set in the future. We do have hovercars and we have children racing hovercars. So not entirely our current world. So that'll do. And again, I don't think this one's going to be on my TBR. It's not. So I'm going to have to add this one in. So far we are 3 for 3 books from our backup TBR. Let's see what we get for the fourth book. Some books on my stack here that I would really like to read. There's only like 5 books though. Let's be clear. I don't have a lot of books on my TBR stack. Alright. This is our fourth and final prompt. So let's see what we get and we'll see how this goes. This is a long one. Oh man. Okay, it's upside down. Ooh, I'm going to have to turn this around to read it, so I'm going to hold it here for a second while you guys read this. Oh, I think this is the one that I'm really excited to try. Search your name at your favorite book retailer and read the first book you see. Alright, this is a really fun idea. This could go absolutely terribly, but we're going to just see what happens. Alright, bring up. I'm just going to go to Dimmix. Okay, and we're just going to search Kate. And we're going to see what comes up. The Wartime Book Club. Okay. Let's have a look at sort of the first row here. Bin Chicken's Excellent Easter, sorry. That's very appropriate. Kate Morton, Homecoming, Lonely Planet Japan. Very exciting. Kevin the Sheep, and also Lonely Planet, Pocket, Kyoto, and Osaka. The Wartime Book Club by Kate Thompson. This is what we were going to be adding to our April TBR. So, I haven't seen this book and gone, that looks interesting, I wouldn't mind reading that. So, we're going to read it. Jersey, 1943. Once a warm and neighborly community, now German soldiers patrol the cobbled streets, imposing a harsh rule on the people of the island. Grace Lamotte, the island's only librarian, is ordered to destroy books which threaten the new regime. Instead, she hides the stories away in secret. Along with her headstrong best friend, postwoman B. Rose, she wants to fight back. So she forms the Wartime Book Club, a lifeline offering fearful islanders the joy and escapism of reading. But as the occupation drags on, the woman's quiet acts of bravery become more perilous and more important than ever before. And when tensions turn to violence, they are forced to face the true, terrible cost of resistance. Based on astonishing real events, the Wartime Book Club is a love letter to the power of books in the darkest of times, as well as a moving page-turner that brings to life the remarkable untold story of an island at war. That sounds not my usual type of book, but it sounds fun. Fine? Did that come out as fine or fun? I meant to say fun. Well, I mean, it doesn't really sound fun. It sounds moderately depressing, but very interesting. I don't think this one's on my TBR either. Alright, and that is all of our books for this month. Not this month, next month. The month we are currently doing a thing for. Alright, let's have a look at this list. Okay, so just for a quick review of the books that we are putting on our April TBR. So we have either The Outsider or If It Bleeds by Stephen King, and The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, which are our two Goodreads 2023 award winner series books. And then we have our 4 prompt books, which I don't have lovely pictures for any of these because they are all either from my backup TBR or completely new books. So we had the Wartime Book Club, which was a book that I had to search my name on my favorite book retailer and pick the first book that came up. The second was Hovercar Racer, which was a book set in the future. We have Pawn of Prophecy, which was a book that had an object in the title, and we have June, which was a book that has been made into a movie. This is a lot of fun repeating all of my lines. We'll see how the editing of this goes. I'm looking forward to it. I love hiccups. They're so much fun. Alright, so that is my TBR for April of 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what books you are looking forward to reading in April. I will be doing a review of all of these books that I read towards the end of April, start of May, so if you are interested in any of these books, don't forget to subscribe so you can come back and watch my review later on in the month. Next week, we'll be reviewing all of the books that I read in March, once I hopefully know which books I'm actually going to be finishing. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!